How's it going, guys, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright. Where we last left off, we kinda cornered Damon Gant, finding a lot of clues here and there. So now we have to show proof that the victim went to meet Chief Grant on the day of the crime. And I've been looking a bit, and as I think, is this one, Goodman's lost item report. He lost his item, he lost his card, and this thing can only be submitted to the chief police. And the date says on that day where he died. Like, it has to be this. Like, this is the only reason they have to go up to him and be like, hey man, I lost my ID card. This one. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out the lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of that report, which means you can't be sure if he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him? There is no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman. Exactly. But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort. Objection! Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. Whoa, is he they get electrified? Chief Gant, you didn't! The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime, for no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course. You're forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there? By using you! I was the police department. I was at the police department the entire day, you know. And everyone is aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was just a useless clue just taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? By using... Worthy! Edgy boy. Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. He called Edgy Boy to go and get this useless item. And while he was there, he put the body in his car. Bam! This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case? Mr. Edgy Boy, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less. He told me that he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. He used you, Edgy. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgy Boy's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car!
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgyboy's car?
Yes, unless of course you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgyboy to transport evidence from a closed case? There's only one possible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye.
Order! 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 What's going on here? Is there's no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Stark took of at the prosecutor's office. The jacket was already there. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk. Chief Gant, please say something.
I believe.
Your time's up.
My time's up? Sorry, Raito, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What?
This is not a right. This is not a right to be casually revoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman.
That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence that you would have presented it by now.
Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gunn is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusation against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gunn murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do you have any concrete proof? I don't have any. Any proof that can... What? Hang on. So what he was saying... What was he saying? I can't... What was he saying? I did save. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Grant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body. Do you have proof against that? Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered him and made Miss Skye dispose of the body. Like, this is only proof that Emma Skye pushed New Marshall. Like, this is the only thing I can think of right now. But this one's not connected to Bruce Goodman, though. Only to Emma Skye. Well, this one, like how that one ended from the evidence rooms to the scene of the crime. And why does Lana have the jacket? Oh, the jacket! The jacket was in Marshall's locker. Why does she have it? Wait, how did it get out of the locker? If only Marshall has access to it. But that happened at the same time. That doesn't make sense either. The only two things I can think of is this and this. I can't think of any other that can connect to both. So, well, I have a lot of chances. I have no proof yet. I can't use that, and he will just go if I do that. I can't just let him squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor. I do have such evidence. Then please hurry up and present it. Just remember, it better prove Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like, Edgy Boys... No, not that one. This one, and this one. But that can't be possible. How does she have the bloody coat? Well, I have like 4 chances, so... Let's try. I can also like reload. So, what exactly is this evidence? It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge, but I am the judge. Oh, right. Well, what do you think, Your Honor? I guess that wasn't enough. Please, Your Honor, give me just a little more. I have no proof yet. Can I say this? Well, I already saved, so let's try this. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. See, Archie? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Righto. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Archie, I'll leave the rest to you. Oh, did I fuck up? I guess so. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to the senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. Objection! Lady Luck, huh? Maybe you should have a word with her. Mr. Edgyboy, what do you mean? There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth? Another witness? In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions, so I did the right choice. Raised in this trial, someone right in this very room. Lana Sky. Mr. Edgyboy, who is this person? Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today. Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth, well, Lana Sky then. The defendant? Miss Lana Sky? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with the certain someone's orders... Mr. Edgyboy? The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor. Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. Oh, come on! In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now... Hold on! Huh? Chief Gant? I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such an outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got lunch date to meet. Well, she basically just blackmailed her. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. I have so many clues. It's funny, we're doing like two murder cases in one. Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, itchy boy.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe!
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Ah, don't worry. I already decided where to work now. At your office.
My office?
Oh! So he's like an assistant to me in the second game? Oh, that's cool! Sure. I'll take that place that top-nutted girl you used to work with.
Could he mean... Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again! How is it always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair that he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember that what the judge said? But Chief, that is not a right. That is not a right to be casually invoked. There's a certain risk to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true.
You mean
he forfeits his right to say anything too?
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you think I mean to follow Chief Gant's... What do you think I mean to follow Chief Gant's orders?
She must have shut herself up deep inside to force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Joker.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
Like, what voice am I giving her now? I don't want to do the very girly voice. I think that's reserved to Maya.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you just wait?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there when Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. To be continued? Should I just do like full out? No. This episode might be a bit short compared to the others. But I feel like I'm gonna play like till the end of the next one. Might take 40 minutes, might take 1 hour. It's almost like, it's also like 5:30 in the morning. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a high five.